All right. We are going live. We are going live.
Uh-oh.
There we go. Sorry. I need my glasses, I guess. Give me only a few seconds. See, I almost pushed the wrong button. My chihuahua. Okay, yeah. I want to do that and close this window and voila. My chihuahua. Okay. As long as we got signal, awakaya. We are preparing the vibration. Akoye. This is live. I welcome you to this live broadcast of spirit. Cheer. It feels good. You connect to these divine beings, holy ones, and it feels good. My chihuahua. There's gonna be some immature people saying, "Oh, you're just high, honey." High, yes. You want to go higher, okay? Your whole purpose of a spiritual path, spiritual journey is something, right? What's the goal to that? To become enlightened? No, keep going. To become awakened? Come on. Oh, to spiritually ascend? Yeah, whoa, good job. Yeah, let's see. We're supposed to, that's the main focus here. You're not meant to stay on a low level, because that's a low level, honey. Aim higher. Much. Keep going up the Jacob's ladder, up the 12 tribes. Understand? From not a Christian perspective, I love you, but this inner Christos, law of one perspective, my chihuahua, we rise in our consciousness. Are you not going through this awakening with me, brothers and sisters? Hamaka. In all of these different dimensions, you're going to have your future lives and your past lives. Why? How? Well, because of reincarnation. But it's actually not reincarnation. Let me explain, my chihuahua. Yeah. Past lives. So remember, notice it's plural. Lives, yes. You have many past lives, Vato Locos. You are part of this, well, it might take a while to explain to you if you're new, but you are a 12th dimensional Christ avatar. Avatar is a high level being called the Christed level. The Christos, the 12D, my chihuahua. And this is here, my kaye, here. My avatar, Christos avatar, mokuye, suchima, hatahe. So, forgive me. Well, why would I have to? Sometimes I speak these other languages, okay? This is spirit, honey. This is consciousness. One of my other selves that I just said, past lives and future lives. Those are my other selves speaking to you now in different polarities, of course, unless you're all like this heavenly super soul family. You can have those, but you're gonna. Most likely, in all of those past lives and future lives, well, you're going to have some dark ones where you chose a different path, a different idea, your consciousness, your spirit wanting to have an experience. Well, why do you keep doing the same experience? Okay? So consciousness always is trying to evolve. Why would you want to stay in the same level of consciousness? Same level of spirit? This is your level. If you're not going somewhere, well, your neutral life, life means live. You want to live, not be neutral. You choose a polarity, Holy One. You are God, sovereign, free. Realize it. Know it. It is our most humble request. Machiwa. I love you, Holy Ones. I'm glad you're here on my live Christos avatar. Man, I'm so excited. I have to shout out real quick. We just got 4,000 subscribers. Yeehaw, baby. Yeah. And I can tell by the metrics that the next 1,000 to 5,000 will take less time because it seems to be increasing. Because I have a lot of viral stuff going on. Not viral like in the millions, but I have something on TikTok that's already, broke my record on all my videos. Like 180,000. So this video could probably hit like a 250,000, right? And dude, I'm not bragging or nothing. I promise you. I'm simply telling you good news. This is good news, my chiwa. I love you. Thank you for being here. Let me hydrate. Of course. Some of you remember your past lives, yes? Or some of you want to know how to remember your past lives, right? Makayo. Hang on, Holy Ones. You're in for a ride. Yeah. I even had one of my subscribers say freaky. Not in a sexual way, but in a different way, you know, like Stranger Things. But no, honey, this is normal in consciousness and spirit. You are evolving to these different lives. And some of them are, it doesn't make sense to you right now, but some of your past lives or some of your future lives were different races. Even different species, not only human. So, because part of your DNA, yes, is the higher DNA, of course, is the starseed DNA inside of you, Holy One. Maybe not all activated, but there in your junk DNA, ready to be activated. Makuye, Mosuta, Hakaye. I love you. Thank you for being here, Holy Ones. All right, Isabel Casales. Greetings, Holy One. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Selena. Greetings, Holy One. Goddess is representing. I don't mean that in a negative way. Anita. Greetings, Tara Andromedon. Welcome, Starseed. Mr. Puppy in the house at the Truman Show. Reiki Master and Sound Therapist from North Carolina. Yeehaw, baby. How you doing? Congratulations. Ah, thank you, Isabel. It was awesome. It feels so good. Because, man, there's a need for this type of information, you guys. And if you get through my videos, you can also check out Ashiana's videos. Check out the teacher, okay? And then check out Lisa Renee's videos. And there's a girl, she has like a mixed one channel, but a lot of it is Christos knowledge, and that would be Ireland Clark. So, you guys know some more. There's someone mentioned someone named Ishmael or somebody like that. I haven't had time yet to listen to him, but I believe you guys, and I think I listened to some tidbits, and it sounds like he could be from Ashiana's work, you know, like a student. Where do we learn this? From these teachings, and these are it's literally called in English words, Inner Christos. So this is a reference to Christos, Christ, which is a consciousness, yes, and then you are this consciousness in your DNA, but not here at the low level, you guys. Of course, look, we're not being angelic. We're not like this mighty avatar, because that's what you are at the 12D level, because that's what we're talking about. That is what is Christ, and you can perceive it as Christ consciousness of this 12th dimensional level, if you can imagine, because you know they're in liquid light. That's beyond archangel level, and I mean, don't get all tripped out because we talk about angels. This is literally what is described as an extraterrestrial at a higher density, not carbon matter, but more like higher levels of density matter, which means it actually has less density and less density until there is no density, until you go outside this whole matrix into the ascended masters, which are eternal collectives of consciousness. And literally, actually, in our next evolution, when we become back to Tara in density 2, that's the future version of Earth, when she ascends, Tara. Most New Agers think it's Gaia. No, honey, it's not. This is a distorted, Gaia is level 3, density 3, which is crystal silicate. So these beings are a higher matrix than the crystal carbon crystal. The carbon crystal is the middle level, the density 2, and then crystal silicate, and then crystal liquid. That's the avatar level, crystal liquid. But we all know, you should know by now if you're watching this channel, that there's beings greater than them, and those are the Rishi, solar Rishi. The Anuhazi word is Brenuwa. Sometimes teacher tells us all these different, you would say Lyran words, but it's really, understand, we're really talking about the Anuhazi from Lyra. Okay, Lyran, yeah, Anuhazi. They are the future of human DNA. You are cat people at the Christed level. Feline hominids. Beautiful Chikai Suimotai Fasa Mokuchi Vasaima Pakai Wusu Moche Pakaye Mokaye Si Musaka Michi Wusu Mikakayes Muchi Makatsi Saimusu Pakaisi Tasukomochi Mohata Hakaisi Wahata Isike Mochi Hosochi Sukayepa. They're giants, man. They're you think that this is Kaya Mosuche Mokoche Hakache Mokoye Natsi Mokoye Vostokoye Nakatas Mochiwa Mosuchiwa Kaimishi Musata Chika Ata Ichiwo Sunumocha Akayishi Tesewa Ukuisha Shasi Kamatas Hakai Wasota Nacha Yuha Hakai. Dude, it's changed languages like 6 or 7 times. Makai Musuche Mutoka Hahata. I see like griffins. Makachi Musu Hatesi Hisika Natita Vastanye Hokopa Ishiwa Haka Masata Haka Nika Hana Hati Hosui Wa Moku Nete Hisitical Saji Moku Onuchi Osanyanchi Woso Haiko Sanyan Chapatin Kachi. Man, some of these are super ancient. Some of these are not even from this world. Makai, or this dimension. Siya, Hakata, Isai, Ukuye, Mukosha, Ante, Itsuo, Hamakatan Jesa, Haika, Hitasanedo, Fusnita Tosudugoina, Haim Papa Pipa in Saint Kainche. I would call these light languages, extraterrestrial languages, metaterrestrial languages. Makoye, because of my health, I have to chill a little bit. Mokatsas. My ear, Mushi. It's definitely some high vibe, man. High frequency, oscillation, vibration, realize the particle and the antiparticle, that parallel, that doppelganger, that other one, the many other selves, up to 1,728 minimum. If you're indigo, you have much higher, several thousand, for 5, 6,000, and because you have these other, you have like up to 24, 36, 48 strands of DNA, not some shit little 3. Like most humans have 3, but if you're one of these, having one of these past lives, some of you are low. Then you have some of your selves, past selves, future selves in the middle, and then you have some of your future selves in the higher frequencies, like density 3, like the avatar density 4. Okay, that's what it's coming through me, man. My Christos self goes all the way up to 12D, but I'm an indigo, so it goes sometimes even somewhere greater, where there is no like direct like translation. It's a fragmented. Every dimension is a fragmented version of itself. Another lower one, even more fragmented, and on to the lowest level, which is us. Like the cockroach level. Like the crap level, I could use other words, but why? So, wow, damn. And you think you're all this shit. No, sorry. But, and some people know what's up. See what? Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was strong energy, guys. That consciousness was unbelievable. Ha. Many different energies, consciousness, races, ET races, man. Multi-dimensionals, because they're in other dimensions, not just you think only in this galaxy and that galaxy, that planet. No, think bigger. It's like, wow, a multiverse, and it's several dimensions, and then you have these higher beings, higher than you, able to go through time and shit, through stargates, through portals. These beings have a spirit technology, but also, you would say, physical technology. Physical to them, To us, they're etheric or ghost-like. They're multi-dimensionals, higher dimensionals. To us, they're density matter. You have to get used to this concept to understand yourself, to understand what is God, to understand what these beings are, angels and such. We're learning about this. And that's part of your past lives, future lives. That's part of your entire level. Because understand this, you guys. This past lives concept is kind of a distortion. Because it's like a Hindu concept of reincarnation, where you just, you die, I was this person, and then I died, and then I became this person. No, it doesn't work that way. I respect all belief systems. I'm not judging anything. Okay? I'm simply saying from the guardian perspective, Machiwa. It's like multiple identity. Like a plural. It's called, the best word to use is collective. You're no longer a singular consciousness. You start in density 2 as a collective. That's hard to describe to someone who thinks in just past lives, future lives. You're multiple lives, and they're all simultaneous. All of these are living in different frequency vibrations. Those are just different speeds, different realities at different angles, different particle spin, different speed, different particle spin, different rotation, different degree of angle, particle spin. They're all happening at the same place, but they don't crash or come into each other, and you can't see them. They're separate or they perceived as separate because they're at different angles. They don't, at different frequencies. They don't collide. Now it's like a perfect design, and that's how we can have an Earth and an inner Earth and a Tara and a Gaia and an Armentana and all these other planets of the Pleiades, But realize the Lyrans are cat people. You don't like that idea? I'm sorry, but we're cats. people in the future as Christ beings. That's what the Christos is. This is the race, the Anuhazi race. What is the Sphinx in your world, man? That is you! My Chiwakaya. This is an extraterrestrial design, but that's what the Christ is a feline hominid, the god of the Anunnaki. Okay, this is who they worshipped. They call them the Leonines, but this is a lower version of Anuhazi. Makaya, Moshuta. Leonines is a density 3 being. Anuhazi is a density 4 being. So this is a lower version. So it's still pointing in the right direction, the Sphinx. It's pointing to the Leonines, but that points to the Anuhazi, realize. The cat people, the humans in the future are cat people. That sounds weird. But this movie, Avatar, it looks like it's blue, and it's a cat feline hominid. And it would be giants to us. It was a good depiction in that movie. I don't know if he had this coincidental idea. Was it John Carpenter? I'm sorry, who was that? I can't remember. But anyways, this Avatar producer, Makai, it was the... I'm not talking about the spiritual stuff, okay? They believe in law of one. They're super hyper evolved beings. And what do you think the Egyptians worshipped the Sphinx? They worshipped in these ETs, man. Okay? And the pyramid itself was designed by extraterrestrial intelligence, you could say. You could say. The Serious Egyptians were being in the... and they were actually helping the Hebrews and the Egyptians, to make this. And they have depictions of these beings with these elongated heads. And they have elongated skulls down here. And even the freaking Egyptian pharaoh and pharaohess had these long heads. What? Huh? And their children. What's that? Not human. No, part human. Wow. From Sirius B. Chikawa Hachina. The Secrets of Egypt. And underneath that pyramid, Vato Locos, is the fourth dimension. The portal to the fourth dimension. The fourth chakra of the planet. You know how we have our fourth chakra? Why, it's yeah. Messiah. The energy is strong, and I thank you. I thank you for being part of it. Yeah, Sikas, Machi, Mosu, Maka. I love you guys. What's up? Poor. All right, look at that. Someone commented on me when I had walked by my friend Jeffrey, and they were like, "Jeffrey, is that you?" Machiwa Anita, thank you for being here, Holy One. Yeah, Andromeda. That's where the sphere of Amente is associated with. Christos Shamans of Ascension, yeah. Ruben Martinez. Oh, you recently found found your channel, and I'm very grateful for the information provided. I've been thinking differently and feel much better inside. Oh, I'm so glad I could be part of that, Holy One. Thank you for sharing. Isabel. Greetings, Jess. Hello, Jess. Sinister! Sinister Trek! Blessings, Liren friend. Blessings, Liren Vato. Ishmael. Oh, I see. Kind of a mixed message there. Or it sounds like a flip-flop. I mean, because that, if he knows the information of Ashiana, he knows who Michael are. That's one of the basic stuff from Voyagers, man. The Galactic Federation, and these are operations, agendas being run on you by these ETs. Machaiwa. And you don't have to believe anything I say or anything anyone else says, Holy Ones. We just offer the Guardian information, and there is a lot of it, starting with the Voyagers books. That's what mostly my information is based on Voyagers 2. So I haven't, presented anything from Voyagers 1, except Voyagers 1 does start introducing the Guardians races, and I talk about the Guardian races. I've talked about them all in my Elohai video, my Seraphai video. Those were all of those races right there, like the Anuhazi Cat people, Blue Flame. Gold Flame is mini. It has a bird people, it has beetle people, and it has, and realize these are some of your future lives, past lives. You remember, not only human, or because sometimes you could become a hybrid, and then you become a different body form and different experiences because now you're a hybrid and it's a different, maybe it could even be a different planet. It gets kind of complex, but you have these many different lives, past lives, future lives. And what it's about, remembering them, is focusing or balancing your chakra. First of all, like if we're in 3D, that's this chakra. So your past lives are anything in this timeline, in this third chakra, that is your previous incarnations. And you have many incarnations. And the whole concept is not from the Hindu reincarnation, not knocking them, we're just telling you this perspective, is that it's simultaneous lives. It's not really like untrue that it's a past life, because there is time frames that you are incarnate into. And part of this whole concept and idea, you have to also realize, and this may be another whole paradigm step for you, but this whole reality is a hologram. We live in but it's meant to simulate reality, a type of reality, and all these different levels, and all these different actual literal levels of different bodies, different consciousness. And the higher it goes is the higher the consciousness, the greater the energy and consciousness, until it goes to the final level. After that final level, you ascend out of the hologram into the eternal collectives of consciousness. And like everything else in threes, well, there's three levels of sound matrix, the Ascended Master Matrix, polaric, first is triadic, polaric, and then, well, you guys have seen my diagram, it's on there too, acadic. Acadic is the highest level. So it's spheres of reality inside spheres of reality inside spheres of reality. And that's what we mean by greater. It's in the higher spheres of reality. These are greater levels of evolution. And we go through those levels of evolution. So when you see these dimensions going up, right? The reality. Well, these are steps in consciousness. These are steps in body forms. You evolve in every dimension into another plateau, a whole nother type of being. And for example, we're in the third 3D, like we have subconscious, reasoning mind, and the ego in density in dimension 3. Well, then we have future ones. Those would be your future lives. These are your past lives. You literally lived lives in the first dimension, lives in the second dimension, lives in the third dimension. So all those previous lives are your past lives. But instead of thinking of it coming down, think of it as going horizontal, simultaneous. All these different frequency vibrations from different time periods are happening simultaneous. This is the properties of a hologram. So we are in this levels, and we fell to a low level. Part of the human race fell. We're part of that, or the people, humans, are experiencing that. But it's not what's happening is we're rebuilding the race that was destroyed, that created disembodied souls. And many of you connecting to these spirit guides could be some of these disembodied spirits who this is a rescue mission. You make these bodies. That's why you come here, to save these disembodied spirits. This is part of the history of the Guardians. Why we're humans are here. It's a big story, okay? All this, and it's covered in my earliest videos. I was talking about that stuff first. The beginning stuff about our history in ancient Egypt during those periods when we created the Sphinx, and how we did it with the Ankhs, which is a higher dimensional current charged on those tools. It was a technology. The Ankhs were a technology. And also the rod and the staff. These were actual relics of power, and charged with fifth dimensional energy that was abused by humans, and so the Guardians took it back away. But this whole thing about the Ark of the Covenant, there is something called the Ark of the Covenant passageway, but in this ancient Egypt days, they actually had this golden box that they referred to as the Ark of the Covenant, but it's not the original thing. But these tools, the rod and the staff, were held in here. These were a part of the history, even into ancient Egypt, which is obviously they talk about Egypt in the Bible too. So there is a time period of this advanced, but in the Bible it's all primitive, like sheep herders and shit. No, we were more advanced before than now. More advanced, and how you like what? We're supposed to be like apes in the past. What are you talking about? We don't prescribe to the you came from apes theory. No, honey, you guys know what's up. Yeah, we got Chiwa. Awaka. And periods in Atlantis and periods in Lemuria. Some of you remember those past lives in ancient Egypt, like you remember the culture, you remember if you're into like magic, or you're into the priesthood, or into whatever, but there's so much more history you don't know about. But we talk about that, and you got to realize there's things like under the earth. There's been there's also inner earth and there's parallel earth, but realize that we were able to go back and forth in the past, and you realize these are taking portals means they're going into the past or the future. These people were not just more advanced than us, but they were able to time travel, go through gates like the Egypt gates that were open in those ancient days. They actually had a lot of dark spirits and souls coming through these portals. And so, they were like two-dimensional, distorted consciousness, very dark and malevolent, that got through because they have those gates open in those days. And so, there was all kinds of things in our past, and you don't remember that we were more advanced. This myth about Atlantis, who had actual spaceships coming down and stuff. Like it's something like a major place of extraterrestrial activity, Earth. No, not anymore. Now there's a quarantine, and now there's a guards and stuff. And so, well, still some aliens can get through. They have bases here and shit. They have made agreements with some of the human governments. They are allowed to come in. There's all kinds of things going on that you don't even privy to. But it's like, wow, we just think about soap operas and dramas, and maybe not, maybe you're spiritual, but open your mind to these higher levels of activity, man. I guess you have to just keep going, go up higher, you will see, you will feel, you will communicate. And it's not like a weird thing. We're not talking about channeling, and I made a video about that. Please check it out. Kochiwa Hatsasuma Hamakaye. Cheers, Vato Locos! Yeah! Iwasi! You know! Some of you know your past lives. I know I was a Mayan warrior, a Magi. Kuchiwa. Skywalker! What's up, Holy One? Oh, I just found him on Amazon, man. I think I used the word like hippie shirts or something. Just, I don't know. Start describing this kind of stuff, and then you'll find it. Like really bright, colorful, whatever. Shit. Yeah. Whatever your flavor, man. And sincerely, I've had some people insult me like, hey, excuse me, one of my banners, wall hangers, you know, I had on the floor shown in my orb video, they had to say some shit, right? Like, oh, that's the Metatron symbol and the flower of death or something like this. You know, like Drumvelo's flower of death. Well, he calls it flower of life, but the Guardians call it flower of death. Well, dude, I bought this because it looked cool, and I didn't know that then. I'm aware of that now, but dude, he doesn't say anything about the orbs. He just has to say some shit like, oh, you know. Okay, I love you, man. Wish you happiness and joy. Yeah. Yeah, I see it. Yeah, it's trippy. It can be. When you go there, you will realize, man, one of my first connections, seriously, the first time, I was recording it with audio. It's on my other channel and shit, but first thing I ever saw was one of the strongest things. And I saw this angel approach me. Like, it looked like a being with wings. But I saw it more like light. The being of light came and approached me, but I sensed it was feminine. Maybe so it wasn't so, you know, like threatening or something. I don't know. But it was feminine angel of some sort and being. Maybe a Christos being. Because you are like a star tetrahedron, man. You're a Merkaba star. Christ star. This is why, you know how Lisa Renee taught us, thank you, sister, I am God, I am sovereign, I am free. I also would like to add 3 times you say, I am Christ star. I am Christ star. I am Christ star. Remember, Christ is consciousness. Star is your 12D star. Star tetrahedron. Like the 6-pointed star, like the star of David, but in 3D. It's important to do the Maharata shield or technique with first doing it 2D, like two-dimensional, not 3D. But eventually when you get better at visualizing, because I can see it clearly now, this liquid light, because when you spend a lot of time visualizing it in your mind, dude, you seriously start connecting to it. Especially if you learn the Maharata shield. 12D technique. Lisa Renee, she has that right now. I'll make one eventually, but I'm so busy, I don't know when it's going to be now, but because I have so many hits on all my media now, except for YouTube. But YouTube is growing, I think, because of these large rushes on my channels now, except for YouTube. But YouTube is slowly increasing, I think, because of these big ones. Like I have one I think it might go viral, dude, is because it's already going fast in 24 hours, over 50,000 over in 24 hours. So no, by the end, before I went to bed, I'm like, what the hell? And it just I might keep going, you know. It broke my record, dude. It could hit over 200,000 people. Oh man, Chicos. But most of the people, well, I can't say that because there's so many people on that one. It's crazy. But Facebook has a lot of people saying stuff, and that's cool. But some of them are not nice, you know. That's okay, man. and I had a few older Ashiana videos on my channel, and they were saying shit about her. And I'm like, dude. I, of course, you know, told them the guardian perspective. You don't like turn into like them. You don't start going arrogant. You don't start being profane. Why? Well, come on. Are you immature? I hope. So we stop those negative things. We stop treating people that way. Haven't you? Stop treating people that way. Stop. Stop it. You'll feel better later now, I hope. You will have a different vibration when you treat yourself, love yourself, and love others. You will have a different vibration. It will start changing. And your life experiences, your hologram will start changing. Your consciousness, when it becomes very happy, super happy, well, wow, you start evolving faster. Especially if you're seeking knowledge that evolves your spiritual knowledge or spiritual realization. Like some of you see these levels from different points of view. Like some are studying the Kabbalah, but that's distorted. That's a reverse system. It's actually 12 spheres, not 10 spheres. I mean, that's the real deal. That's a dragon system. You're following the 10 strand? The 10 strands are the dragons. The Dracon. Draconians. The Omicron. Washi. Su. Okay. Yeah. I love you. Thank you for being here today. Live, no less. Yes? That's it. Oh my. It's a grand celebration, baby. Yeah. Oh my gosh, look at you. Bastache, Makata, Hahewa, Ositas, Makata. I love you guys. Yeah. It's a motion. It's a strong one for you. It's like I want to say real quickly, I am have these memberships. See the join button? You can join here or join on my Patreon. Holy Ones, what's up? That description is in the video because it's a team effort. And some of you are literally indigos. And I have to say what's up, you guys, not out of, I literally also, you see I have these 4 platforms YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and they're all kicking ass, except for YouTube. But it's growing. So I had to have a middle place for all of them, if you guys want to help out that way. So I appreciate that. I just have to say that every once in a while. And I'm also working on my website, and I will have a blog soon on my website. So I'll just have like kind of exclusive offers, like articles. Like it's gonna be like a part of my website will have a blog, and I will be revamping the ET section. So probably within 7 to 10 days. I'm looking at my schedule. So, and because that has to be revamped, because that was like early days, and I hadn't touched my site in so long. But it's soon going to be a busy hub on my website. So, and I put that in all the description of my videos. So, thank you for being here. Yeah. We're like going through this ascension, and part of that awareness is knowing your past lives. What were that? What is that? That was you as living lives in older times of this period of the Aryan, and then you lived lives as an Atlantean. You may not remember it, but it's literally in your DNA. But we also have distortions and blocks in our DNA now. So part of this process of ascension is literally about the DNA. And it, like, that's what the chakra, you access it. You access your DNA through the chakra system. And through, like, biogenesis is actually literally learning about the Templar, your Templar, and knowing that it's a hologram and getting past that. Like, you're not hung up on reality is not real or physical. What do you mean real? It's real beings. It's ascended masters who became these identities, and then some of those identities fragmented into the lower and lower levels. It's like an actual physics thing. It happens automatically when a being comes in. They get their whole soul family is projected into the hologram. So this is like a being who will come in and experience a collective consciousness, but a huge one at the high level, because as the lower you get, the smaller part of you, of the whole, because you literally represent a being that's a collective. That's your collective. At a minimum, excuse me, my hair. A minimum of 1,728 lives. That is your past and future lives. That is all happening simultaneously. It's all live, happening now. And so these beings sometimes are coming through stargates and portals. Okay, they're going through. When they do that, they go through time. That's what stargates are. That's what chakra are. You have access to stargates through your own stargates, your own chakra. What the Guardians call this whole system is called Templar. We also talk about the crystal body, your morphogenetic field, which is underneath the chemical DNA, underneath the physical body, so to speak, because it's perceived as physical. None of it's physical. It's all vibrating. That's what a hologram is. It's all virtual. It's all in bandwidths, frequency bandwidths, literal frequency bandwidths, and if you're vibrating at the third dimension, because that's where the third dimension is. You're vibrating somewhere in that timeline. From ancient days to nowadays, you're living past lives, future lives. So now we're not so evolved, but you're going to be more evolved later. And some of these beings, spirit guides, angels, whatever, contacting you, are some of you, your other selves. So just like you have past lives memories, some of you, or you can learn how to do that if you weren't born with that ability or haven't obtained that ability. You can obtain it. You can learn it. And you're going to be doing things to develop yourself, like meditation, like going on a clean diet, doing shadow work, doing ego work, breath work, and Templar work. We're teaching you how to access your Templar, and one of the first things you're learning is learning how to make your 12th dimensional shield that's coming from the planet. So you got to learn how to bring that current up from the planet, and it's a visualization, which is scalar, because light, sound, which you're visualizing and toning, and this is higher, like the light fields, sound fields are the center master levels, and then the light fields are the Rishi, or Brenawa, you can call them Brenawa. Actually, Ascended Masters in Anahazi is called Yanas, Yanas, if you want the Anahazi word. So sometimes you hear weird words, like Aramatena. Like most of you just heard of Earth and Gaia, and that's it. There's Earth, Tara, Gaia, Aramatena. Density 1, density 2, density 3, density 4. Earth, density 1. You evolve to density 2 someday. Well, that's simultaneously now. Your future is now. So, technically, you also have a parallel self. It gets complicated because while you're doing stuff here, your doppelganger is doing stuff over here. So you have many past lives, future lives. This doppelganger has many past lives, future lives, which is actually in the antiparticle universe, the parallel. So everything has a double. But that's not we're not, don't confuse that with your other selves, but it is your other selves, but on this side, this is your other selves, and then combined, that makes your entire self. That is the human template, which leads you into 24 strands of DNA. I mean, you technically, after 12 strands, you can leave. But some beings are super high levels, freaking, 48 strand beings like the Christ avatar, Jesus Christ, which is actually, he's one of the Christed beings. He was an avatar. And so it's Jesus, and his density 4 level identity is Sananda Melchizedek. Jeshua, Sananda Melchizedek. So the story about Jesus is a little bit different from the Guardian point of view, and we talk about a decoy Jesus, a trick Jesus who came into a different timeline. And this being was doing, this 12th dimensional being, Christ, Jesus, Sananda Melchizedek, was doing his, as an Essene, he was part of the Essene mystical order. He was one of these indigo races. That's an indigo race. He's coming through this. And so has something to do with Solomon and Bathsheba. That's where the race started. That is Jesus' line. Mokoye. This Jesus, our, the 12D, the Christ Jesus, the Lyran Jesus. He's a Christ avatar. We're all Lyran feline beings. Made of liquid light. Crystal liquid. And you have to see yourself, your whole body made of crystal liquid. Can you see your face and your body made of crystal liquid? Get used to imagining your face staring at you. Maybe it's close, not to scare you, just so you can see the detail real close. You can see your own eyes, your own face. You have to get used to imagining your face, because this is important in your visualization, imagination. Because human consciousness has access to these other dimensions, to these other worlds, to these other beings. And as a clairvoyant, I see these beings. I see them. But it's like a feeling of being there, like being transported there. Not like some. It's like hard to explain, but maybe this is a form of that communication where it's coming through my DNA. You know, it's like I know that some of the experiences and visions I've seen, I must have some high level activations. Otherwise, there's no way I could see the beings I've described to you guys a few times. So, I myself have gone to Peru. I went to a ceremony with shamans for ayahuasca. And so I even have a video about my testimony. It was like a 9-day trip to Peru. I mean, I spent like a day here and a day there, but most of it was in Peru. Like I had to stay the night once in the capital city, I think, and then Cusco, and then to the, wow, it's kind of like called the Sacred Valley of Peru. It was so freaking weird, man, to be in these giant, tall mountains. The elevation gave me sickness. It's called elevation sickness. I had to find a pharmacy because it was bad, and I was researching like, what's this feeling? Nobody warned me about this, because I've never been up that high of elevation. These people live up there; they get used to it, I guess. But I was like, whoa, oh man, what's this? But it was freaking amazing to see this world, this side of the planet. The mountains just blows my mind. Especially when I was in Machu Picchu, felt like I was teleported to some other world. That, you know, this Incan energy feels strong. Like a condor is one of my spirit guides. And so I knew something might happen there. And I have some good footage there, so. Yeah. What's up, Vato Locos? I know what's up. You know what's up. What kind of charity? About what? I'm sorry, I don't know which one. Yeah, she does not play. You just have to look her name up on Google. You'll find it. I one of those videos is mine. You'll see my video come up in the first 10 results, I think. Because I talk about Ashiana, about when I met her. So that video is only 2 minutes long, but it's way high up. It's like almost the first page of Google. First video on YouTube, I mean, for Ashiana. Like, I used to be really high up, but there's a bunch of unrelated videos above me. I'm not trying to compete. I'm just saying, you can find me on there. I had actually some other videos of her, so I wanted to share that info, but her people contacted me and asked me to remove it, kind of strictly, so I did. But that interview of myself talking about her was my own, video. So, Makaya, I love you. Yeah. Now I just refer to her all the time, because I'm, want somebody who can get you ready for the advanced stuff. That's my goal. That's why I'm teaching you guys all the basic stuff, especially the history, and talking to you about these ET beings that are malevolent. And you're going to learn all kinds of stuff, man, on this channel. You're going to learn about these dimensions and densities and ETs and which ones are bad for us, which ones have done terrible things to us. And we refer to them as fallen angels, extraterrestrial races. You'll find that in the Inner Christos teachings, that a lot of these terms are super long. Like, like an Omicron is called actually a longer name, like Omicron dragon moth. So and you would, it's kind of like this reptilian insectoid creature thing. And so Wakaya, these are beings that some of you come out of. They're called human alien hybrids, and I made a video about that. Check that out. You learn that there's 3 main type of races. Of course, you're going to have some little smaller things going on, but mostly it's all about the humans, the indigo children, and the human alien hybrids, Anunnaki, and the human alien hybrid reptilians. Those are the main races. And out of those you would get some of the illuminated ones. So this is an extraterrestrial menagerie here on Earth. Okay? We don't know that they're hybrids, and the hybrids don't know they are. But some of them awaken. Some of them get contact and guidance, or whether it's good or bad. So most humans are just they're so into the matrix. You know, they're so into the hologram. They don't see spiritual worlds and spiritual energies and beings. What? They don't compute that. Not to say that that's bad or something. We're just saying that they don't understand, and sometimes they're aggressive and negative. Do you become aggressive and negative? No. You learn to be a Christic being and love all. Be kind. Be friendly. Don't you want to be my friend? You guys can do super chat stickers here, and give a super chat thumbs up, holy ones, and you might be curious to check out my Instagram channel or my TikTok, and check out the buzz, right? And then those are easy to binge, those 60-second, videos, like a minute and a half videos. That's what they all are. And so those are like little tidbits you could do here and there and learn a thing or two. Man, I talk about everything from stargates to the Egypt to Atlantis to Lemuria to angels and fallen angels, extraterrestrials, extraterrestrial races and species, and all the different things, all the different wars, the different history, the different race lines, and how they're done in different, actually, you would say three types of races. I mean, founders races. So that's why you got different creatures on different ones. And everything in between. So, we're a Christed being at 12 dimensions, that's made of 12 different races. We're a super race. And 5 of our races inside our DNA are starseeds from other worlds. And the rest are Earth seeds who were born on Earth, like the Lemurians, the Atlanteans, the Polarians, the Hyperboreans, the Aryans, and the future Earth seeds, Mavarians and Uchechi, after us, after we're destroyed and come, it comes to an end, and the new race comes in. Sometimes they even overlap. We have indigos coming in at the same time, creating these advanced new beings, higher level Unchechi, and then Muvarian holy ones. Makaya Hosucha. But I just know that in this timeline on Earth, if you stay on it, no, it's the future timeline, right from now, it will be taken over, and they will be majority yellow skin. We know it by majority, and we're in the period of majority white skin, but then the majority used to be red skin, the Atlanteans. The majority Lemurians, they were brown skin. So, majority. And by the time you get to the Aryans, notice we have so many different versions of humans. What's that all about? That's about all these different versions of humans in these periods of ascension, and levels of human history. Your past lives. You live these past lives. It's in your DNA now. You have, you're trying to get your 4th strand. But most of us are still getting our 3rd strand. We're supposed to, now we have to have 5 strand to ascend to Tara. 4.5 to ascend to Earth, inner Earth. So, going from almost 3 to 5, or 4.5, is a huge leap. It's possible for a lot of you who are into this information because you're actually going to learn the tools. When you got someone teaching you DNA and the Stargates and Ascension technology information, you're going to learn your all these other cells, but you're going to start learning the physics, like what you're made of, how does this aura and subtle bodies work, how do your different bodies overlap, how far do they go out, what color is the chakra, where are all these chakra, if there's 15 of them, well, they all have different colors, and so you're going to be going, those are all activated. When they're activated, those are all stargates, portals, and you become a much more advanced, knowledgeable being in the future. You're the shit human now. We're like, what? Huh? We can't meditate. A lot of you can't meditate. I'm not making fun of you. What I'm saying is, a lot of us are so far from these levels. It's like, what? You know, you don't relate to this stuff about aliens. You don't like aliens. What? I watched Ancient Aliens. I thought it was bullshit. I'm not saying that. Other people say that. No. You actually learn something from that show. But it's not all up to par. But you're getting a lot of data for sure. Just make sure you don't put all your eggs in one basket and put all your faith in one person or group or guru. Your favorite whatever. Creator. I call myself a creator on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. Soon I'm gonna have a Pinterest, Makaya, and a Reddit. Eventually, that's why I'm doing I was forced to work on my site right now. It's gonna be cool, you guys. Watch. You wait and see. What's up? Yeah. If you don't have incense, use a shaker. Yeah, baby. Chico. What's going on, vatos? Thank you for being here live on Christos Avatar. Isabel. Thank you, Holy One. Thank you for sharing the info. Thank you, Holy One. Starseed. Brother, Vato. Shaman. Yeah. I loved, at the beginning of my spiritual path, man, I was really into shamanism. It spoke to me. The native, kind of like the Native American stuff really spoke to me too. Like, I really connect to it. I was all into the Egyptians, like a lot of you. I was fascinated by all that stuff, and most people don't think like that. It's people like you and me. We're starseeds, man. Yeah. We come from other worlds, vatos. Some of you Pleiadian, and, even Orion. Some of you are from those gold flame races. And so, we also have beings from Arcturus, yeah, and some mermaid people, beetle people, yeah, but those aren't nice. They're not very nice creatures. So they're pretty dark, actually, very high level too. Beetle creatures, and also lizard creatures, and it's technically called, well, the Anu Elohim are technically feline aquatic apes. They're the beings that created the Anunnaki. Why do you? That makes sense, because the Jehovians are dolphin people. They're bipedal dolphin people. This is the true Anunnaki. Everything else are hybrids. Everything else. All the other Anunnaki races are hybrids, except for the Jehovians. So that was actually a race that Enoch was a Jehovian. He was a dolphin, bipedal dolphin being. And this was a time when Thoth was around too, during Atlantis. They were working together sometimes. Oh, thank you, Holy One. Leo! Thank you. Merry Christmas to you, Vato Loco. My moderator's in the house. Anita Van Den Doublestein. Oh, I used to read his books too. It was so cool. He was like telling these shaman stories and really like high level stuff. Like he was talking about all kinds of things and about consciousness and even like meditation, trance, going into a cave and not coming back until you've mastered the visualization. Life Monique. Machiwa, thank you for sharing, Holy One. I'm so happy to see you guys knowledgeable about this knowledge. This is our history, our origins, our record, and in spirituality in general, that is extremely important to know your identity, to know your past lives, future lives, or simultaneous lives, that they were all necessary. That's why this being comes in. He's projected. The collective is projected into, it's a multitude of beings. That's what a collective is. These collectives of sons, oh my gosh. You should see how many lives they have in one son, collective, their families. That avatars are, we think they're big, right? 6,000 lives, for indigos. 1,728 for a regular avatar. But Rishi are even more. More giant collectives of suns. They're these thermoplasmic beings that are like so fiery gas beings. And you're all that too. You're part of that. That's one of your identities. So when you can talk about past lives and reincarnation, we're just like, learning that it's all simultaneous. It's all these levels of our identity. We're trying to remember those identities, put that puzzle piece together. So that's what this knowledge does. And please stick with me. There's so much more coming. It's just going to expand and get better. And thanks to you guys' support, you can support me here live, or you can do it through PayPal. There's a donation link to PayPal. There's also donations by becoming a member. You get a few perks here and there. You guys are helping me. You're literally helping me live. You're helping me. You're helping feed me. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for those of you who have become members. Like, remember I first told you I had one member. Now there's 5 of you. That's the last time I checked. And you guys, I promise to work on to develop those perks and fill those. You will find, if you're a YouTube member for Christos Avatar, you're gonna find the community channel. Just find my community tab. Maybe I should put a link in that, right, in my videos. That's a good idea. So my community tab, you will find members only posts, but sometimes I'll put a post for everybody, but that's one of the things that are a perk, and I'll be doing polls there, but also you guys can just help out because it's going to help me make more videos. Like, this is just kind of what I can do, and it's just one diagram, a simple room, but man, I've had these orbs, like thousands of orbs in this room. I've done all these videos in this room. At least I'm not complaining. I'm just, you know, I used to be homeless, and I came to at least to having a room. So I'm going a little bit better and better. So now I will do this all on my own if I had to, but with your guys' help, we can just do it faster and reach more people. Like today we hit 4,000 a little. I think it'll take less than 30 days to get to 5,000. But this is the middle of them. Just 30 days from now, okay? And that means you guys are going to have more friends, more fellow members, more fellow Vato Locos. We will have eventually a busy chat. It's set up, but no one's there yet. I've only seen one person come there. So we had a conversation. I usually keep the app on. It's on Discord chat server. I keep the app on in case someone comes in, but you have to be a member, guys. At least the lowest level is $5. And then you also get badges and emojis. I haven't seen a member come on yet, have I? I think I just saw something. I've never seen that before. Oh wow, Leo, how'd you do that? Are you a member, Leo? Oh, Charity Gordon's there. Thank you, sweetheart. Oh yeah, Leo's a girl. Leo, alright. Oh, that makes me feel so happy, guys. I'm so glad you're part of this. And I promise you, like, more emojis, because they gift me more emojis to offer you as the channel grows. So you're part of that too. There's only like 4, right? I think. But eventually it'll be 5, and then 6, 7, 8, 9. I love this. I think it's fun if you become a member here, because it's actually cool, right? But in case something happens, man, because you know there is some censorship if it ever kicks in, and something happens. Well, I'm always there somewhere else. I don't put my eggs in one basket. You will always be able to find me, and that's why eventually my website will be strong. There will be lots of activity, lots of stuff on my blog, lots of stuff to learn, and also connections to where I am talking, where it's working, where they realize you're gonna get some negative people saying stuff. It's okay, right? We treat them with respect, even if they don't treat us that way, right? That's the Christos way. That's the indigo child way. You learn to be a starseed. You learn to be a guardian. You learn the principles of law of one, of the inner Christos. All the angelic nations, guardian angelic nations, all of them are following the law of one. The inner Christos, they know this knowledge of the inner Christos. They know planetary Christos. I mean, Templar. You have the Christos Templar. You have the planetary Templar. You have the galactic Templar, universal, cosmic. Okay, and these are all stations of consciousness. These are all levels of consciousness. And there's greater God worlds. We're mostly been talking about this 12 dimensions. Well, 15 dimensions. But there's more God worlds, you guys. And I actually had someone write me. I think it was a member, actually. And I really appreciate you. And I like that conversation. Because he was asking about this one author who... excuse me, I forgot his name, but I can put that in the comments. But he was talking about some of this, but he said only 12 dimensions, not 15. And then he started talking about other things out there. Maybe it was around 2004, 2005, so he could have learned from Ashiana Dean, because that's when she was speaking still. She doesn't speak anymore, but she stopped speaking around 2012, really, with the material, but she has created, she has done interviews with Carrie Cassidy. And you won't find Carrie Cassidy on YouTube because she was kicked off of YouTube because her theories are too strong for them. So she's somewhere else, but you will find copies of that interview, on YouTube too, if you just searched for it. Makoye. A lot of people put her information and a lot of channels get deleted. Jenny Medley, thank you for the positive vibes. Those of you who have positive vibes. Jazzy Gems, hello sister. I love her too, man. Actually, mostly inside of Indigo, like when I was more into 3D life, the first impulse is you have a freedom and you seek it. You seek freedom and truth. So you will go into conspiracy, theories. So we're just saying, this could be Indigo. A lot of Indigos going through this. I went through this. I went first through Alex Jones. I was into him at the beginning of my secular spiritual life until I started going farther, deeper into the Inner Christos. I met Ashiana and her information after I saw the interview with Carrie Cassidy. So I'm truly grateful. And I also saw and met Carrie Cassidy. So I didn't get to talk to her very long. But, because she was like already being hammered by people talking to her, and I didn't want to do that to her, literally. And so I just, waved and said thank you because she was talking to someone else. And, but I saw her a few times throughout because she actually, was probably a personal friend of Ashiana. They probably became friends, because they've done more than one interview. But anyways. It's so cool to see those badges, man. And you guys notice that's a Merkaba star. That's the Star of David, but a unique design. I created those little things. Your alien schizo stuff? Yeah, I went through the alien stuff. I was into the X-Files. I love the X-Files, dude, even though there's some distortions in there. But, they do talk about this private group, this, they do cross some boundaries. But anyways, it's not all about that. And they do talk about even DNA, alien DNA and the human DNA, remember? It's sort of, we're aliens. We're made of many races, but most people can't fathom that. But anyways, most of you who are indigos, you're into World of Warcraft probably. You're into like fantasy. Like I love the movie Sheena, Beastmaster, and then Legend with Tom Cruise, and me and the other girl, from Ferris Bueller. All these space movies like Star Wars and Star Trek. I watched all the Star Trek series. Not all of William Shatner stuff, but I did actually watch a lot of it because I lived with when I was a teenager. I lived with my grandma, and she was really into Star Trek, the old Star Trek. And then in the 90s, when I was living with her, we were into the Star Trek Generations. And then there's Star Trek. I didn't really like the other Star Treks too much because there's Star Trek Enterprise, and then the one on the space station. What's that called? Deep Space Nine, right? Yeah, that rings a bell. And then Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and all kinds of other Star Treks. And now there's other Star Wars by now. I saw more Star Wars, and now there's all kinds of little Star Wars movies. It's so cool, man. You're indigo. You're into this shit, man. You love this stuff because your energies are vibrating, and you're what. You have to go higher than this sci-fi. There's actual truths to some of this, in a little bit different descriptions, but there is these multi-dimensional ETs coming through Stargates. Some movies will show this even, like the movie Stargate. They even showed a pyramid and some ET ruler. So, saying it was its God. I am your God. Oh, in the movie Stargate, the original Stargate movie, these beings rised against the God and kicked the God off the planet. God. E.T. God. So he actually got annihilated at the end of the movie by, they put a nuclear bomb in his spaceship. And he freaking blows up at the end. So sorry if you didn't see it, but come on, it's an old movie, dude. And then after that movie, they made a whole series, TV series, and it's like, it was freaking Disclosure, dude. You know, and I talk about this in my Stargate videos, in my Inner Earth videos. I talk about all this stuff. This ain't new. This is old. We got these experiments going on. You know, you think it's all entertainment and just aliens. They're not just aliens that look like grays. There's many beings dealing, mostly reptilian and Anunnaki, and they're messing with us, man. They have some dark agendas. They're doing some naughty things. So you have to know about them. Otherwise, you will know how to protect yourself against such things you don't know exist. Like these ETs involved in genetics, in hybridizing humans into distorting our DNA, changing us into something else, literally. Wow, not nice. But very dark, actually. They want dominion, they want destruction. They have dark creeds, false creeds of hierarchies of power. You are forced into that system because that's how the dark side works. You're in a hierarchy. Oh, all these freaking new age hierarchy of angels, that sounds so lovely, so sweet. Let's go follow all these different levels of angels. This is dark, false creed. Understand? Hierarchies. There is no hierarchy. In Guardians, we're all equal. It's law of one, honey. Law of one. Not hierarchy. In hierarchy, you get dominion. You get authority. You get experts. You get, polarized consciousness. What I like to be. I like, power and money, and I like to control people. I like to hurt people, I'm not saying that. Don't take me out of context. I'm saying that's what people are thinking nowadays. That's their thought process. You like that system. That's the false system. Nice choice. No, it's not. You picked the bad, the negative. Sorry, negative choice. You're the vampire in a vampiric relationship. You're siphoning off your mate, whether you're male, female, whatever. You're the vampires of society. You call them menaces, right? Menaces of society. Kochua. Anti-Christos. Anti-Christic. See, you follow the law of one, they don't. They want dominion, control. That's easy to recognize their way. It usually makes you feel bad in some form. You don't want to feel bad. You don't want to feel guilty and shameful. I'm a sinner. You're guilty, huh? I'm sorry. Repent. What? So, no, Holy One. You are being tricked, being duped by mostly, not always, an Anunnaki or a draconian being. So these are competing gangsters, and the Necromatons. That's a third gangster. Anunnaki, you would say blue flame and yellow flame. Gold flame, sorry. And, chicas. Because remember, the necromatons come out of gold flame. That's why it's mainly between the two flames. Violet flames races seem to be chill, man. They're all the exotic fantasy creature beings. Like the unicorn is real. It's a hybrid. Horse, deer. A Pegasus. A horse, bird. These are coming out of the violet flame. And actually, horse is one of my spirit guides. And then oh, I think my camera just went out. Let me switch it. It takes only a few seconds. Wait, is it going off yet? Yeah, it went off. I guess I gotta put my glasses on. Sorry, guys. Give me a second. I guess I'll just switch out the battery real quick. Yeehaw, baby! You got it going on. What's up? What's up, Vato Locos? Fellow Pleiadians, fellow Arcturians, Lyrians, Syrians, Orions, Andromedans. Yeah, you know what's up. You know what's up. Yeah. See. Woohoo. Haha. What's going on, man? Ooh, shit. Make a video on my blocked throat chakra? You just focus on the throat chakra. This is the throat chakra. And you just meditate on the throat chakra, but you have to have the consciousness of the throat chakra. You know, this is a whole spiritual lesson. The heart chakra, love, humanity, respect, and to others, honor others. If that's not present, you're not going to even come close to getting your throat chakra. This is a level. And after this love, humanity, treating people with this love, you know, this universal love, the Christed love, well, then you go to the fifth dimension. You have to go through your chakras, and if you're still being negative, or, I mean, you know, you're not going to develop into this throat chakra. So it's a spiritual level. You see it as a, if you keep calling it a block and identify it as a block, you can do that. And it sounds more like you need to just work on that spiritual part of the, like you could get a chakra book and get all of the symptoms of or you can even do Google search, right? Of the underexposed chakra or a overexposed chakra. Because when it's not balanced, it's off, and you're going to have physical problems in real life. And your experience in the hologram is going to be negatively affected with those distortions. And we have been distorted purposely. We've even had blocks put in us in our past when we don't remember. Now that the planet is all messed up from a freaking 25,000 years ago. So we've had this terrible atrocities, and the history is much bigger than we've been told. The Guardians are giving us the history that's much bigger, and realize that if there's humans in 3D and there's humans in 4D, well, they're super far in the future. And if you're actually in density 3 and density 4, well, you're like super stellar far in the future, like hundreds of thousands of years, like in this movie called The Time Machine. This guy went into like 800,000 years into the future. That's like freaking an avatar. That's how far they are in the future. It gets multiplied as the energies go up in dimension. Like time speeds up twice as fast in density 2. Everything is shorter and faster. Like, much more data, twice as much. Twice as much speed. And not to mention, we're not just in a lower dimension density, we're in a distorted version of ourselves. We can't compete with that. But you will someday become that. You are that now. Your job isn't here to become aware of that now, because it's happening now. Some of this communication, like you heard me speaking, within my Maharic shield, I run my Maharic shield, and you connect to this energy vividly. You can see and do that, run that shield. There's also a quick version of it, so you can do it longer, faster in a few minutes, because it could take a few minutes to do that. Until you keep doing it and doing it and doing it, then it becomes faster and you see it much more vivid. And then you literally can feel current in your body, in the different locations of the chakra, and even when you start working with your palm chakras, you can feel current, dude. So you know it's real. It's not a joke. And get this, eventually, you'll be able to see the energy. You'll literally see other people's energy. Can I do that? I can't, but I've seen my aura a few times, and it was more like a vapor. I saw this vapor, I'm like, I didn't know what the hell it was. Then it clicked in my brain, because it came on camera before. I saw this freaking, what the hell is that? There's this mist around me. And I was, I kept having to check, what, is this real? Huh? It was my aura, dude. I didn't know what the hell it was. I was getting this hint of it. I was seeing it a little bit. That eventually we awaken those abilities. And more. Like crazy abilities and stuff, like shamanic stuff. We're going beyond. Beyond into those higher levels. Sometimes you see it through my channel. Here on YouTube. Live. The other videos aren't like this because not everyone likes my lives. That's why I put them on a separate playlist. So if you guys want to watch some of these playlists, I have different ones. I have a playlist just on the Egyptian series. That's a series of 5 or 6 videos or more. 7 or 8. I talk about all the freaking amazing things in Atlantis. I even talk about the Egyptian gods in that series. It's one of my playlists on my channel. Check it out. You just have to go to my channel, and then you'll see the different playlists, I think. Yeah. So you just, or you can go to my playlist tab and find your flavor. And this is going to get bigger and better, especially with your guys' help. And thank you to my members again. You're freaking awesome. Give me back. Yeah. Yes, yeah. Yeah. The positive vibe, man. Family. Chi. I suggest crystals. This is always under my pillow. You can use different green chakras. Crystals. This one's... Oh man, it feels good. Amazonite. Usually amazonite has different colors. But I've shown you guys these crystals, and this is a very good thing to have around you, crystals. I sleep with sometimes 3 crystals under my pillow. Especially if you work and charge it with intention. Learn these arts. Osmosis. I mean, I don't call it osmosis. We do something else, but you know. Gaia will stool. You put your consciousness into consciousness. You know what I mean? You're focusing on consciousness itself, not a body part. You're focused on your actual consciousness. You play with it, you control it, you know how to evolve it, expand it. Because if you expand this, you expand your knowledge, your understanding of the universe and what all these beings are, and you experience them. I've experienced a UFO. I've seen one. I've been, you know, out of my body, and I've also have all these visions and speak these words, and I had my levels of learning. You know, I had a learning curve. I made some mistakes and made wrong decisions that I can look back now and say, dang, man, like disappointment in myself, come on. But like I can feel like I did horrible things, but I would never, you know, I look at that shit and like, dang, you know, you're a totally different person now. But you don't dwell on that and dwell on bad shit, right? You actually are harming yourself, holy ones, when you do this. This is about past lives, but literally, if you keep just focusing on, like, just saying you're this life, you have past years, right? Well, that's past versions of yourself. Life is a spiritual lesson. You're going through lives in all these time periods. You have many past lives. You have many future lives to go through. But already there. You're just doing your portion here in this little sub-frequency of 3D. We're trying to get to the end of 3D and then start the 4D strand, 4D level, the 4D people who come after us. Amakaya Ochi. You guys are awesome, man. You fell into the phantom dimension. Double closing? I don't know actually what you're saying. I look young? I'm 52, bro. Oh, thank you, Charity. Thank you for being a member. Thank you, Leo Murray. I like seeing those green stars, and then you know if you stay with me, that will turn into a different color. There's also some emojis you guys could try. I don't know how it works. I've never done it. Jazzy Gems. Oh, thanks, Leo. I'm glad you're here. Isabel, hella. I'll show you a hell of a crystal. Check this out. Amasitas. Ichiwata. Ichitata. It's still like hot here in well, it's September going into October. Well, it's October, yeah, sorry. No wonder it's getting colder, like, you know. But still, it's still hot in here in AZ. This is a master stone, an Orlite 23. Beautiful stone. Probably 2200 or something. This is kind of rare now to find a big piece of Orlite. I have a lot of small pieces though. This is something I'm going to start putting on my website. Because they're on Etsy, but I'm not going to keep that forever. I'm going to put them on my website. And that is another way to help Christos Avatar. I have a lot of crystals, so we'll put a few up and see how it goes. Because these are a great ally. These are alive. This is a consciousness. and it's vibrating in this like sacred geometry. It's like an assistant when you have it near you, because if it's far away from you, it's not going to help you much. You got to be having it in your aura somehow, or near you, where you're interacting with it or whatever. That's why a lot of people wear crystals jewelry, so that's around them, and put them under your pillows, and put them in your pockets, put them in whatever. I mean, I loved being part of all those crystal shows. And what's cool about living here in Arizona, this is where the giant annual crystal show is every year around February. So I'm in that city, Tucson, so that'll be awesome to see that show next February. Makaya shitas mache. Kuye. Awesome piece. I'll just put it right here. Thank you guys for being here. Shenanigans. Alright, you got us live. Yeah. Oh wow, Charity, thank you, sweetheart. That's cool. Wow, you did them all. That's so cool. Yeah, and as the channel grows, I get to add more. So you'll just see them appear eventually available. Am I going to die? Well, everybody dies. You have to die to incarnate. I mean, to ascend. There is some exceptions, because depending on what happens in this lifetime, you could be evacuated if you're a guardian race, part of their team or something. If you're close to most likely you are if you're indigo, but sometimes we can be a sleeping indigo, or confused indigo, or distorted indigo. So our process is to evolve, and it's been through different lifetimes, and so a lot of those lifetimes include dying, but there's parts of your DNA where you're going to be immortal, and that dying process won't always happen. Eventually you'll be immortal again. That's the original state. That's what this information talks about, is the actual original, because we fell from a higher system. We're a lower system now. We fell from our original body form, our original consciousness. So this is actually it's called a rescue mission, because part of that destruction from Atlantis actually destroyed parts of the grid of the planet. Remember, they were using these powerful technologies. And some of you, all of you, lived in Atlantis. I mean, you can't speak for all the hybrids, but realize that most humans who are humans full human, have lived as Atlantean and Lemurian, and Polarian, and Hyperborean. Yeah, we have this important understanding that nothing actually dies, it just transmutes form. That's why some people, their physical body just died and their body got abruptly, like it was like a quick death or something, a jolting death. You could be knocked or displaced out of your body, and so you're like a disembodied spirit, or you can't get out, or you can get stuck. But anyways, some people communicate to these things. They channel these things, or they could channel ETs, whichever. A lot of us are trying to develop lives to bring these souls in our lifetime, piece by piece, until they're all assembled. This sounds strange and like sci-fi, but this is what this whole human thing is, man. We have 12 strand humans up there. But down here, man, it's freaking distorted as shit. Excuse me. It's really horrible. People are stuck down here in reincarnation. It's not supposed to be reincarnation. Did you know that? It's actually a bad thing that you're reincarnating. It means you're stuck in a loop. And notice the bad caveat is you forget every single time. You come in, don't forget your life lessons. I mean, you forget your life lessons from the previous lives. You start from fresh. It's in your DNA, some lessons, but and that's going to be projected into your hologram. But you're still making choices, individual sovereign choices in this new life. You're adding your part to the DNA. It's going into your future human. This life is part of your soul life, which is density 2 level of yourself. That's your soul. Well, these are your future lives. To us, we're their past lives, but they perceive many of us at once, like that. We're called 12 tribe for a reason. You're a collective of 12 up there. So you're going to perceive all these little lives down here. Little lives, you know. It's a big being in consciousness compared to us. It's a collective, so yeah, we're little versions of it. We're pieces of it. All of our experiences are being collective in all the frequencies at once, because there is no real space-time. It's all a hologram illusion. It's a refraction of light. You are actually, it's all explained through this Inner Christos. You learn all this Templar, and it makes sense after you realize this hologram reality. And I made a video about that. Check that out. But also you realize the multi-dimensional system, all these aliens and races, guardians and negative ones, and what's been happening, what the history is, you know. It's beautiful. It's a revelation. Illumination. You become that Christed one. Look towards your bringing it in. We're learning how to bring it in, right? Use that 6-pointed star, bring it down. Merkaba, silver, dark, pale silver, or mercury, liquid mercury color, chrome color. That's an easy modern term. Chrome, liquid chrome, or you could think liquid metal. That's a good idea. Liquid, like I found out there's a Marvel character called Silver Surfer. Look at this chrome being. Look at the being in Terminator 2. That Terminator is made of liquid metal. You look like liquid metal. Feline hominid. Christed being. Is there other beings that are in 12th dimension? Of course. But this is where they are. You evolve. I mean, think about that. If they are in 12th dimension, and you evolve, ascend all the way to the 11th dimension. So one more time, you're going to change your DNA and go into the 12th dimension. You become this Christed avatar. It's based on your DNA. And Inner Christos Ascension knowledge gets you there. It's the technology of galactic science, Cathara, and healing, and learning about the Cathara, which is underneath your Templar. You all have a manifestation template. It's named different things. I don't even like that version of it. I like to call it your morphogenetic field, because that's really what it is. That's the word, that's the scientific word. It's a morphogenetic field. The crystal body. So imagine some being, sparkling crystal being, like a ghost-like crystal being, man. That's part transparent, right? Well, that's not even that high. But that's archangels. Those are archangels. That's parts of your future lives. We're parts of the past lives, really. But remember, there's no space-time at the end of the day. it's all an illusion, and we get used to that idea of everything happening simultaneously, which is a trip. And it also, you guys, I have to explain the twin flame, only because I know there's interest. And the twin flame is you come as a male-female pairs, but those are separate lifetimes. So one of your past lives, so that's part of this past life reincarnation thing. Sometimes you reincarnate. And down here, we call it reincarnation. You die. I know you just asked the question, am I going to die? We all die down here. That's what reincarnate. That means incarnate again. Like do it again. And again. And again. Like a freaking loop. Unless some of you've learned spiritual ascension and leave the planet. You awaken, you increase your consciousness either naturally or through these techniques that they were doing in the Egyptian days. One of these pharaohs, Imhotep, he was one of the guardian races, man. One of these ET beings, half hybrids, not half hybrid. What I'm saying is, he was one of he was supposed to teach Ascension, and he did in the pyramids. Those were his Ascension technologies, but he wasn't supposed to be doing that, and he got in trouble for it. But he was actually just only doing his people. But the Guardians go through all these histories, man. And we got a lot of corruption in all those histories with the dark, fallen, angelic ET races. They're dark avatars. The Giovannis are Dimension 11. And the Necromaton beetle people, they're called the Necromaton Andromes. Because that's where all the Drami channeling is coming from, through these freaking creatures. They're also the beings that created the Men in Black. This is the beetle people. This is one of the ET gangsters that want dominion over us. They all want to have the whole enchilada. So one of the gangsters is a reptilian, Draconians. The other, which includes insectoids and bird people, dark ones. Dark avatars, or dark seraphim beings. So it makes you think about mythology a lot differently, because some of the stuff isn't myth. What do you think myth is based on? Something maybe in another level of reality. And it makes sense when if you first at the beginning, like in my beginning days, I was wondering about all these mysteries of Egypt. It's a trip. Something's outside the ordinary there. It makes you think, man. Or you're just a sleeping earthseed. But you know that there's something greater than what we are here on Earth. That there's been proof of super intelligent races here. There's been proof that some of these beings are from other worlds. I mean, it's in the Egyptian hieroglyphs, for goodness sakes. It's in the Egyptian sculptures they got there. And not to mention just that people. There's other advanced people. The Hindus were, once upon a time, super advanced. I mean, of course, there's still, a lot of them still, like the monks and the people who are truly into the consciousness. They can ascend through their own way. It's like enlightenment and learning the secrets of the body and how to do these qigong and tai chi energy systems and meridian lines and like the acupuncture and reflexology, acupuncture pressure. There's all kinds of systems of energy. We're meant to learn, master consciousness and energy. Not be stuck in the hologram. Not just, not just be into the matrix. Not thinking about spirit. Not thinking about other worlds and other world beings that are here up in our face. To you, it's unbelievable. You don't believe. And that's okay. You make your free will choice. You'll just have to reincarnate. Do you want to repeat and forget? Die, come alive again, and what? You could keep on doing that all the way up to the 4000 AD, 4500 or something like that. It's on my diagram. This is where it will stop and restart over. And if you get stuck on that process, man, you're going to have to reincarnate again for 26,000 years. Do you really want to do that? Then ascend. You want to ascend. And, of course, there's a huge incentive to ascend. You would be an immortal being in a super advanced society, and OMG, such a greater experience than here. People describe it as heavenly, because it is it's such a different reality, a much better reality than this. And so, and our forms are magnificent. We're an angelic human race, that's what we're called, and we're immortal beings practicing the law of one, and we have super advanced technologies. Can you imagine, how we're so suppressed that we are not allowed to know about aliens, we're not allowed to know about technologies that exist that are super advanced? Well, these guardians know this knowledge. You're part of this, guardians. You come from these advanced races. You know the potentials of science and engineering and physics. You guys come from evolved intelligences, involved lifetimes in the higher densities. They don't have this, they don't exist yet. Then there's people like Tesla come along, people like, even, of course, Da Vinci, and people like Kevin Bacon? Like some weird people that were part of those Masons, but there's other secret societies that were actually good. But of course you're going to have your negative ones, and those are actually the history lines that we're going to learn about. I will be talking about those all the way back to all the times they have distorted religions, their holy books. They have changed them, destroyed them, took over the people, or oppressed them, or overcame them. This is all spiritual war by these ETs. It all has purpose, a goal. I can't even say that word. But it's when the whole world comes into one type of, order. That's what all these factions want. There's 3 different programs of it. And even overlapping sometimes here in our politics, here in our drama, here in our suffering. I don't go political, but realize it's part of the spiritual, because it's in there. These are these beings, man, in here. You got a false choice. They're both dark. Both sides are wicked. What are you doing? You got Anunnaki or Drak. What are you doing? You're serving one? You're serving the other. You notice how they bounce back and forth. They keep trading. This Republican, Draconian, Anunnaki, Democrat. Mashitas. We don't want to talk politics. We talk about what's behind this world. The consciousness behind it. The energy behind it. The levels of it. Okay? We are awakening. Yeah, we're awakening. We're understanding that most of the shit we learned in the past is dismissed, is outmoded, what? Now there's a new consciousness coming, man. Not this freaking sick consciousness that's harming innocent people, harming kids, We don't want that. You don't want that. That's horrible. You protect and love. Protect your own, your own, the ones that you love, you protect. You protect, and it's like a commitment to create life, because then you protect it, not harm it. Certainly not your God should be harming you. Your creator God. I tell people, or people tell me about their creator God. I've had some really rude comments saying people that they're, oh, that's my God, that's my race, they created. What? You know, did you notice my other videos where I'd say that's kind of like a bad thing to do? No. They'll still leave their comments. And that's okay. It's a social platform. You're meant to have differing opinions. So, but we're rising. We're rising together. You, brother Starseed, brother, sister Starseed, Indigo Child, Rainbow Child, Crystal Child. I love you. We're part of this freaking amazing Guardian Alliance. You would say Interdimensional Association of Free Worlds. We're part of the higher spiritual families. We have identities. We have future lives, past lives. And you know, you'll get religion saying it's a sin or wrong or evil to look at the psychic things or spiritual things, spiritual world, spiritual beings. I told you we're these religions. Who created these religions? So of course they don't want you to do this. You know, they want to disempower you. They don't want you to have psychic powers. No. We're gonna put poison in their third eye. Nice job to our pineal gland. Calcify that baby up with poison in your toothpaste. Wow. Can't talk about that though, so I don't. You know, your third eye is being attacked. Your crown is being attacked. It's being attacked. You're being lesser than what you really can be. Does that make sense? You know, you're like a distortion of what you could be now. You got robbed of what you could be. As soon as you go in, your spirit, soul, goes into the fetus of the baby, well, now, as soon as that happens, 2/3 of your consciousness gets shut off. And that leftover is what creates a body, a person. That leftover is what creates you or me, or, you know, because of the planet's freaking distortion. It distorts all life right at the bat. Now we're a bunch of deformed beings. Everything you see, these beings are all deformed. We're deformed. You don't know what we really look like. You don't know that's a reptilian because that is shut off in the DNA intentionally. So we all look like the same race, but we're not. Okay? This is what the whole, it's a military strategy. Like body snatching. You know, now it's not the same people anymore because now it's a mixture of DNA. It's you don't see it immediately, but when there's generations of hybrids, look at me. I am part two people. You know, when you have one of them being an extraterrestrial race, you're mixing another Anunnaki extraterrestrial with the human terrestrial. Okay, now you're not going to have when those now have babies, those are in the population now. Now you have a whole bunch of half hybrid, half human. It's shut off in the DNA. You don't see the Anunnaki part. You don't see the reptilian part. You see us all looking the same. But when you, Indigo Child, open your higher centers, you can see these other levels of energy and, you know, and structures of other dimensions. You're connected. You're into that Wi-Fi of the 8th dimension, 7th, 6th, 5th, 4th. That's all antenna, baby. We're all getting it. But it depends on how much your chakra is open. It starts real small opening. And it gets more and more, you know, bigger hole. Bigger vortex. It's a spinning vortex, man. And it's true power when you know how to use it. You know how to focus it, and wow. You know, so I just had to make a report on my fast. I had to stop. Not had to. Well, why did I say that? I did 2 days of no food. So, and then last night I was getting headaches. And you guys, I have so much work to do. So it's not the best time for me to really do a super long fast. I was gonna try to do longer than my record, which is 3 days, but I'm gonna work my way up to that. So I just want to let you know, I'm not gonna make that video now, but I will make some life changes. Like I haven't learned it yet. I gotta learn it. I want to learn qigong and other energy systems that teach you how to use your. Because I'm learning through Kathara, which is probably the best source, but you could still learn from other systems. I suggest that you guys are practicing or looking into and learning from different sources. I mean, even myself included. There's other sources. And you find your what you're meant to, what you're focused on. We all have a path. That's why it's called a spiritual path, a journey in consciousness and spirit. And in this period of ascension, we're going through spiritual awakening. It will lead to some people going through spiritual ascension, which is literally, the physics of it is going through the Stargate. You will drop the body and go through the Stargate. That's ascension. It's not singularity. Most likely it's not going to be singularity here. Like everyone becomes one consciousness. Does it look like it? Let's be realistic. Look at the symptoms of the planet. The Earth is ill, has been ill for 25,000 years, and it's been intensified since that time, since Atlantis. It was intensified. It made worse, the distortion, than 2/3. Well, the 2/3 is there, but there's other distortions in your DNA that have to do with them tampering with you. We've had the Greys tamper with us. They're part of these Draconians. That's the Draconian team. They're friends, they're buddies with the reptiles. The insects are, the Greys. And there's different species of Grey. They're not all gray, by the way. There's different color. Zeta, they're called. They're technically called Zeta Reticuli. There's different Zetas, though. There's a Zeta, there's negative ones that enslaved these ones. Like, you get that shit going on with the reptilians, too. They'll enslave other races. They take over other planets. They're collecting power, like technological might, resource might. They use it, you know. In the higher dimensions, they're aware of multi-dimensional physics. They're using it. Their technologies are multi-dimensional. They travel through time all the time. You know, they go through stargates all the time. That's all it is. It's traveling to another vibration, which is another part of the history through this whole process of ascension. They use time travel. I should have put that in the video title, time travel. And you know, some of you are interested in time travel. Like, you want to know what really happened at the Philadelphia experiment, and we'll talk about that. I'm going to make a full-length video about it from the Guardian point of view. It's in Voyagers too, if you can't wait. Anyway, a lot of you probably already have the Voyagers PDF. You don't have to buy the physical book, but I'll just show you mine. I have all 3 of her books, and there's another one here. Sorry. Now, these are out of print, so they're hundreds of dollars, but that's why I say find the PDF. You can actually even buy it off her website, the PDF, and Carrie Cassidy's website. So, this is Voyagers. You keep hearing me say Voyagers. Well, it's these books. Voyagers 1. I'm not teaching from Voyagers 1, though. I'm teaching from Voyagers 2, but also from Angelic Realities. Not limited to this one, because I also have like many of her workshops, and some of them I lost in the fire when I lost my. I was once living with some family in a house that burned down, and I lost everything I possessed. I had to start all over, and I had a lot of workshops. Thank goodness I have some of them on computer, but I had lost a lot of original books, and because when I went to the convention, they had a little bookshop of her material from workshops, and they were actually video cassettes in those days. So, but anyways, they found their way on the internet. So, and this is another spiritual group, but they talk about the law of one. But we talk about, from the same source, is coming from the Inner Christos law of one, not this law of one. But this law of one does have a lot of legitimate knowledge of the Christos. I mean, they don't talk the high level stuff, they talk more low level stuff, because they're from the 6th dimension, this race, these people. So aim higher with the law of one. There's more to it than just this. Just letting you know. The basic premise is the same, though. You realize that all are God. It's pretty simple. I mean, there's not much to say after you say that. What else are you going to say? All are God. So, there's no exception. You can't be outside God. God's everything, but to the fullest level. I mean, the ultimate level. There is a final level eventually. The Alpha, Omega. There is a final point, and you learn the structure of this 15-dimensional system and the Ascended Master system, and you'll learn that there's many different time matrices that make this big, giant matrix of time matrices, and that is the higher God worlds. We're just learning about one, our 15-dimensional time matrix. That's big alone by itself, but just realize my diagram is only showing one time matrix. There's many. So you think a galaxy, or there's a being coming from another galaxy, well, come on. What about another dimension, and those higher dimensions, and then the ascended, and then the beings in those higher worlds? So you gotta imagine that surely we can't imagine such high levels. How could you understand that consciousness? There's nothing recognizable anymore. You couldn't compute anything. You wouldn't make sense of nothing. It's something in front of you, but you don't understand it. Well, you can understand 5th dimensional beings, 8th dimensional, 12th dimensional beings after a while, but though it's like nothing familiar. Thermal plasm reality? Liquid light reality? What's that like, really? We can only imagine what we need to, but do you really remember that period of time? Can we imagine that, what it's like to be liquid light? First of all, in density 3, well, I'm sure it happens in density 2, but you eventually can shapeshift. Your body won't be the same. You can instantaneously shift your body. That's high level density. Well, mid-level density. But they'll have that starting in, I would believe, like angel level. 6th dimension, 7th, 8th, 9th dimension, archangel, and then higher. Chicas. These are our identities. These identities are part of your family. And that network of beings, you can connect to any of them. And some of them are connecting to you. So not necessarily is it an actual spirit guide, it's you. One of these many. And the higher evolved ones could easily connect to you if they need to or want to, or if you're calling out to them, communicating with them. You put intention there, you can connect to you keep imagining the Elohai, and repeat this phrase. It's Liren Anuhazi. Shaddai Ure Akumtun. Shaddai Ure Akumtun. Shaddai Ure Akumtun. And I'll spell it out on my website. I'll put it on the members' website. There we go. That's one of the things I'll give to my team. I mean the Christos family, and we're gonna have parties, guys. I hope you make it there. We might even have some, like when it gets big, we'll have some like parties and stuff. We'll meet in some main area or have some retreat thing and just rock and roll, man. We're gonna have a pyramid there. I just know that whatever thing I create, it's gonna have a public pyramid for people to go inside and experience this powerful. I'm not talking about Giza size. No, there's like miniature, like 2-story, 3-story pyramids or bigger. You would be able to construct that with modern materials or specific materials and specific dimensions. That means specific angles. It's a science. There's books. There's people already in the world, like a lot of Russians are doing this. They're making. You could just type Russian pyramids. You'll see people in Russia are making these, and they're experiencing supernatural things inside of them when people go inside them. That's the reason why I got all those books. I learned all that shit, and I want to have a pyramid. And on our probably Sedona, someday I'll be living in Sedona. I'm still here. I will grow, and this show will be freaking awesome because I'm gonna use like a studio setup. Eventually, we'll grow into that where there'll be 4K footage, and it'll all be on green screen. It'll be super freaking awesome entertainment at that level, and much more informative and super modern and cool. I can't wait. The best way to communicate that, and I will have a professional microphone. You'll hear me perfectly. You'll see me perfectly. This will get better, and that's why I thank you guys for your support. Thank you so much. I literally wake up and go to bed. Sometimes, though, before I go to bed, I'm so tired that I have to relax and watch a movie or something. But I usually go to bed every night around 1 o'clock. Lately, or when I was fasting, it was earlier, about 10 o'clock. No, not that early. Never. I mean, more like maybe 12 o'clock, 12:30. But now it's been closer to 1:30. Well, I go off and on. I've always been a night owl, dude. I used to wake up in the morning when it was light. Then I would go to bed. That's crazy. I even used to have a business where I had employees come and work. That's when I was a businessman, and I had my own company, my own office. And I was sleeping upstairs while they worked downstairs. This was like a mail order company for my website, because I had this whole website operation, and so it was kind of casual. Like the owner lives upstairs, and you guys are working, and I come and pay you cash and stuff, and it was cool. But I lost all that because I made the decision to sell it prematurely, and I was, this is before COVID, right? I started to have all this go downhill, and like, because I wasn't focusing on the business like I was supposed to. I eventually only had one employee for a while, and so I made the decision to sell the business. But my problem was I bought all this stuff like candles and herbs and essential oils, and I was going to start selling that stuff. But then I just lost the office, I lost my house, I had to put everything I could afford in storage. Still to this day, it's in storage, and I have all these crystals there, man. I can't even have them here with me. I have some crystals here. I have a few boxes, but I have all this whole collection of crystal skulls, crystal spheres, crystal pyramids. I'm selling a lot of that stuff. I want to sell all that stuff. So when you're indigo, you go into that deep thinking mode, and you even want to learn science. You want to learn not just spiritual stuff. Your mind goes crazy. You want to learn all kinds of stuff. You get hungry for it. Even an old person like me. I'm like, I'm not the same I used to be even 5 years ago. You know, because when I became this downfall in my life, that's when I started becoming skinny. Like, I was like a hardcore vegan or alkaline diet. I lost all my weight super fast, and where I was losing too much weight, it was unhealthy. And then I started messing around with fasting, and now it's like, when I was homeless, I had a relative who finally let me stay with them, so now I was able to start eating again. And that was, normal, not like Maruchan and shit. You know, to me it was still worth it, because that's when I saw a UFO, when I was out living in a desert, boondocking in a desert. It was a national forest park, okay? You're allowed to live there for 2 weeks at a time, so you would have to move to a different one. But anyways, I was homeless in a Camaro, dude. And I even did live videos sitting in the back seat like this, because my feet was able to go into the trunk. That's how I slept for a long time. In a freaking Camaro. I would have nice to have some truck or van. I eventually sold the Camaro and got a truck, but a used old 90s truck. When I'm used to like new cars and not new cars. I've only had a new car once. That was my truck. I bought a brand new one in 2001, 2002. I bought a brand new truck. Anyways, some of my lives are about my personal life. Sorry, we just have this history of our own life, much less our past lives, right? Like, there was so many spiritual lessons in this life of mine. I'm so grateful for them. I became from the secular, kind of like profane. Not really profane. I was just like, not sacred. That's the opposite of sacred, kind of. But I was like into the secular life, not spiritual life. I used to not even believe. I was kind of like against it and made fun of people who followed this kind of stuff. And that was way in my young youth, in my 20s and 30s. But I changed. I changed even from that. I started with crystals, honestly. Amethyst, smoky quartz, or citrine, and quartz, clear quartz. But I always had an amethyst and a quartz at least. If you're going to get into crystals, I would say get an amethyst, or I'm going to start putting crystals on my site, okay? That's how you guys can also help me. And plus you get something in return that actually is going to go on your spiritual journey for a while. Maybe you'll end up passing it on to someone else and getting a collection of crystals. Some people start getting into crystals. They love, experiencing their energies. And they're actually, if you're knowledgeable about crystals, they're actually can be used for physical ailments. Believe it or not. It's like a stone that vibrates at a specific, it's got different structure. And remember, these are secret geometries. If you learn about what crystalline matrix is, that's what crystals, they're like amazing, and you can benefit from one. I always have quartz. I love balls, spheres, because they feel so good when you're meditating. Like, look, it's kind of ergonomic. Like, fits your hand naturally. And it's polished. So when they're smooth, it feels nice, you know. It doesn't have to be. I have raw stones, like that master stone I showed you. This is polished, very powerful stone, amazonite. I also have aventurine, a different type of green stone, and I've had actually green calcite. I've had orange calcite too. Yeah, I'm probably going to be finishing up, but I haven't made a schedule of when I'm going to do my lives every night, but I would like to, because now there's more people, right? More interest in this work, because we talk about all kinds of spiritual related stuff. The main one is spiritual awakening and ascension, but you're also learning this true human potential, and that there's some things that are kind of distortions, and I had to go through that, man. I was raised Christian. I was born into a Christian family, and it was so much in my life because I also went into a Christian grade school, and this was like a real strict place. They would hit you with, they would punish you with this paddle with holes in it, a wooden paddle, and you could see these teachers, some of them were angry, and they would use two hands on us. Like, anyways, they had demerit systems. You know, you did something you weren't supposed to, you get a demerit and demerit. Oh, go to the principal, get your ass swapped. So, what's very interesting side story, I had a stepdad once that was a carpenter, and he made the paddle, the new one, because the old one broke on my ass. So so they were so thankful to get that nice lube. And remember, these are supposed to be kind, loving, sweet people. You know, you would think religious people in general are supposed to be better humans some way, like in their, not like better in value, I mean better as in how they treat people, how they are more loving, more kind. They're supposed to. But most of them are judgmental and mean and judging you and telling you to repent. I want friends who are cool, who want to chill, maybe smoke together, go to a drum circle, man. Spend hours dancing or drumming or whatever in the middle of nature. No people, no pollution, no grid, no energy grid. Outside, you'll drive 30 minutes to nature, go to the local mountain very close to it, so you're away. You know, Tucson and Nevada, I lived in Nevada for a while, has that. I always found a drum circle. Here I haven't, because I'm kind of limited in my resources. I can't go anywhere really. I can't even get my truck insured yet. You know, we all deal with some like challenges, and I know this will grow into something significant eventually, but okay. So but that doesn't stop you from working your ass off. I'll continue to work my ass off, and I just hope my own body from whatever, maybe it's from sitting in this position all the time, because I don't have a chair, I just have this, and I have to put pillows against my back, and I usually sit like this. Maybe that's giving me this shit, I don't know. But it's like some of these transmutations are not comfortable. Symptoms. There's ascension symptoms, spiritual awakening symptoms, but there's also problems and diseases and stuff. You got to be careful. with your health. You know, make these stupid mistakes and catch one of these things. And here you're supposed to be a spiritual person, and then you have some issues with your biology. When you just want to freaking work and get this energy out, this consciousness out, it's driving me. And maybe, you know, I need to pay more attention to my health. But I'm trying to, I'm not going to, what? I got to stop. I guess I have to do something different. See, this is consciousness. We go through that dialogue in our own day routine, right? Most of you are not aware, though, of it. It's kind of like in routine mode. Think about that. Routine. Pattern. Same pattern. Repeating pattern. Recyclic pattern. This is fun? No, life is not routine. It's extraordinary. It's something, a voyage. It's an education. It's a knowledge. It's an experience, right? You're supposed to become bigger and more evolved. Not evolution as an ape theory. We mean literally evolve into a greater species, a greater being. That's what spiritual ascension is. It's literally called transdimensional Stargate passage. You go through a Stargate, it takes you to another higher dimension. These beings will take a Stargate and go down and come into the world. Our world. Wow. Hey, what's that? Damn. You know, pictures, videos, you're still not convinced, huh? They're all weather balloons, man. No, seriously, guys. You don't like talking about aliens. Why? What's wrong? They're cool. I like aliens. Alien vatos. What's up, man? I had my picture taken with George Norrie and Linda Moulton Howe. I saw Corey Good. No, I didn't see Corey Good in person, but I saw David Wilcock and Emery Smith in person. That's why it was so cool, dude. I got to see. I saw some FBI agent who was selling his books. Former FBI. He was a cool guy. I met all kinds of cool people there. Me and my sister friend, we started doing like freaking drum circle, and all these people started jamming with us. This movie, Fire in the Sky, that was in the White Mountains of Arizona. I used to live there, dude. I lived in that town. I lived in Lakeside. I lived in Sholo. These are little towns in Arizona. I lived in Chino Valley. I lived in Taylor. Sholo, Lakeside, and Pine Top mostly, though. And it was a very snow territory, like deep snow. And then I moved to Phoenix, and it was freaking hot, and you had to wear shorts like this, you know. Tucson's a little bit less hot, but it's still hot. It can get hot. We have giant saguaro cactus in the backyard. Giant cactus as tall as a tree, dude. A cactus. That's what Arizona is known for, besides the Grand Canyon. And besides the famous spiritual place, Sedona. It's probably, since I'm in Tucson now instead of Phoenix, it's 2 hours more, but it would take me probably 5 hours to get to Sedona. But I've driven to Sedona even from Vegas, so that's where I used to live. I kind of miss it mainly because that's where I had a big family of drum circles out there. Tribe of drum circles. I know some of you will party with someday. We'll have these spiritual group meditations, man. Yeah, baby. We just go in places. Rising Star, 4K now. We're gonna get to 5K, 10K. Whoa! I have 20K subscribers on TikTok. No, 22,000 now. because of this viral video. So I don't know if it's gonna be viral, but it's freaking going fast. And then now 12,000 on Instagram, 4,000 just barely on family on Facebook and YouTube. And some of you are part of that. I thank you guys for that. And we are bringing in this information. More people are gonna bring sharing this. That's what's part of the social media. You guys are sharing the shit out of this. Excuse me, but you know, it's so exciting. You like, there's thousands of views or shares on one of my videos on Facebook, and it's like so cool that the information is gonna. This is Christos consciousness awakening. These are a lot of these are indigos awakening, and then when we have a whole family of indigo consciousness on here awakening, then a lot of the Earthseed consciousness are in that field. That pool of consciousness is what averages out the collective consciousness. You start putting some 5Ds in here, some 4Ds, some 6D starseeds and indigos. Well, that raises the consciousness naturally. It affects the particle spin of the planet. You guys are literally changing consciousness on the planet. You're activating this and this and this. Well, that's helping the planet and the people on it. But we need a certain amount of them. We need a certain amount of 4D, a certain amount of 5D. I don't know what those numbers are, but the 6D is very particular. 144,000. We need that many for this like 100th monkey effect, where it would turn into a global ascension. That is the most favorite goal, is for the whole race, the whole people of Earth to ascend. But right now, it's just people who develop their strands of DNA in their own personal life. That's what it looks like. Some of you are aware. Some of you are practicing breath work and meditation. Some of you are doing something. Even if you're not an expert, you don't need to be, or you just have enough time to learn some stuff here and there. Well, you guys, you're making a change. And think about this: as the consciousness on Earth affects everyone, well, it will be easier. Things will be faster, and you will actually literally see probably miracles in your life. Supernatural things. So you won't be able to deny it. You may not even understand what you just saw right away, but you learn eventually these physics and these understandings. It's all energy. It's all hologram. It's all a wisdom you get from that understanding. When you know that stuff, you have a wisdom about you. An enlightenment. Enlighten. You become brighter. You become a beacon of light, holy ones. You're meant to shine. We are stars. Literally, that Christ said star. I am Christar. I am Christar. I am Christar. You are a star coming down to earth, rising consciousness. That's what we do. In our time, free time, full time, we're raising consciousness. You are a part of that. You raise yours, you're raising the whole average. So that's why it is group effort. We must do this together. It's not about, oh, that person's like a master, he's better or smarter or more evolved. No, come on, you guys. We're guardians. We don't talk to each other like, we literally naturally don't see someone like that. We're not in judgment mode. We're not in fear mode. We're not in guilt mode, shame mode, loathing, self-loathing mode, hate mode, anger mode. No. You strive to go to a peaceful life. That's not always easy. Maybe you're born into a violent family. Maybe you're born into abusive or maybe you get involved in someone you thought you knew but end up being an abusive relationship. Well, you're coming an awakened being. Part of that is putting boundaries in your life. You want to heal, don't you? You want your maybe kids to be safe or whatever, the circumstances. You have to change relationships sometimes. Even if that affects you financially, you realize what's more important. You know, that person pays the bills. Well, are you going to be under this false creed of oppression, vampirism, energetic vampirism? You're being drained by leeches and vampires and they want to absorb you, they want to manipulate you, they want to control you, they want to harm you. Wow, they're crazy, they're dark, they're sick. Why are you still with them? So you move on. You change big things, even if you have to be alone. And quite frankly, if you're on this path, you're a starseed indigo child, dude, most of people don't understand you. Not saying we're some special, important. We're all special and important. We all have certain energy capabilities, depending on your own personal development. You don't have to be born psychic, guys. You can learn about chakra, learn meditation and breath work, how to activate this stuff, how to use some of these techniques. You will become psychic. Is it like satisfied as instantly? Because that's what you want. Fast food, fast this, fast that. Well, no. It will take actual effort. And you can't just ask someone to do something for you when it has to do with this energy consciousness. You have to do the path, the work yourself. If you're serious about this, guys, you will take responsibility and you will be, not judging and being negative. You actually change that shit if that's your life. Dude, I can be honest, in my life, I had a big anger issue. And not at other people, just within my own life, I lived alone a lot. Not always. I had a daughter. Well, I have a daughter. I mean, I had one in 2000. She was a millennial baby. So, we sometimes find ourselves alone, If you have to put boundaries. But I had anger in my life, like stupid shit. Like if the computer didn't work, I would get so freaking angry. I would cuss a lot. That's what I meant earlier when I listened to my old videos and I cussed a lot. It annoyed the hell out of me it annoys me to see when I was so bad. Like, dude, that's an immaturity thing. If you guys can't stop cussing, I mean, you're like, dude, you're a pussy. Hello, you see what I'm saying? People are in the vulgar mode. They're in the porn mode. They're in a distorted mode. They're in some sick, twisted mode. They don't like normal or average. They don't like some goodness. They have to have some distortion, some twist, some dark twist to it. That's why people love horror. Okay? That's why people are into distorted sex or weird. Well, it's not a judgment. It's a realization or not. You realize what is not from the original, first of all, blueprint. You have an original divine blueprint, literally. It's a morphogenetic field that's on the 12th dimension. It's your perfect self. It can't ever be distorted. It's always in the 12th dimension and waiting for you. You're getting it fed to you, but in a distorted way. By the time it comes down. By the time it gets to you, you're this creature. Yeah, it's lovely, it's handsome, it's beautiful, you call it. Well, not compared to what you are up there. You saw yourself up there. Hell yeah, baby. Yeah. Let's get back there. Let's ascend. ascend, go to the next level. Yeah. You can do it. You know you can. Some part of you just knows, man, that you were supposed to find this information. You're supposed to change your life, waken, and ascend. Makoye, masitas. So embrace those past lives and future lives. Know them. Learn from them. Some of your favorite stuff are from some of those decisions in previous lives, passed on in the DNA. When you die, you get passed into the DNA that projects your next reincarnation. So there's a progression. This past life created some lessons that got recorded in your DNA. In your next life, it's projected in the hologram. That's your new experience. So realize everything you do is creating a direction. You start doing negative things, dark things, your DNA will start going into those experiences. You will be literally attracting those experiences because of the way you're living, the way you're thinking. If you go into perversion, if you go into darkness and twisted from the natural pattern, twisted version, then you're attracting darkness more and more into your energies, into your thoughts, into your emotions. You become a dark being, a hateful being. Okay, so it's a different consciousness. Some of us have to go through that shit. I had to go through my anger. So sick. I remember even getting mad at pets. So disgusting, man. I would like to beat up my own old self. So it's a transformation you make or don't. You did start, you making some progression. Are you being a good energy conscious high vibe being? High vibe diet, high vibe lifestyle, treating people good, getting that positive manifestation instead of a dark one. So I gotta keep. Oh wow, it's already past 9 o'clock. I didn't know that. Sandy. Oh, if you want to share your experience, you're more than welcome. No issues here. And if someone does, just let me know, like private message me. You can write me a message on the one I'll notice the most, because I spend a lot of my time answering people there, is Facebook. So you can reach me in my Gmail. I put that down in the description. At the bottom, you'll find my email. Yeah, all that high advanced space program stuff is coming out, you guys. It's part of what it's you could say it's a little part of the awakening, but there's also the dark side is trying to fight back on that and make distortions with that information. And but there's still lots of people on the planet who want this evolution to happen, a positive change to happen. And then the dark ones are trying to prevent it, trying to control. They want the earth for their own reason, and it's totally unrelated to us, really. We're just in the way. We're the ones meant to guard it. We're on earth because of the gates. It's the number one thing we're supposed to be doing is watching these freaking gates. You gotta believe that there's teams in this flesh here on the foot soldiers, so to speak, and you better believe there's Star Wars up there. You know, there's fleets, motherships, spaceships. You know, there's advanced technologies that you don't probably understand or believe. So part of spiritual awakening in your past lives and future lives, it's evolving. It involves evolving. You will be changing physically, conscious-wise, your consciousness will change. Your mentality, like you notice we put all the different levels of your mind, like the astral, the archetype, the celestial, and beyond. All these levels of your identities even turning into collectives. You come into the tribe collective eventually. You come into the galactic and the universal, the cosmic collective. It's actually beautiful. It's got some divine design. Divine design. I guess I get to appreciate it more when I made this diagram. I see this majestic creation. You see it now, I share it with you. This is from Ashiana. This is my own diagram, but it's from pieces that I've learned from all of this knowledge. And I put it into one big diagram. The diagram's not even done. I'm still going to add all of the guardian organizations, service organizations, and security groups, all the administrative groups. I'm going to list those in the diagram. In the top part, there's a lot of empty space. And then on the bottom space, there's a lot of bottom space. I'm going to put more information. So keep checking up on my diagram. It's going to keep evolving and getting better. Aw, thank you for the emojis. You guys are so cool. How'd you get them so big? I haven't seen emojis that big. I love you guys. Some of you guys are on a cool path. Who got blocked? Oh, I know that guy was kind of negative. Thank you, man, for watching out for the community. That's all you guys got to do. When we get some trolls, I'm not trying to cause no gossip, but he's already was kind of disrespectful to some of you before. We can't allow that. We're peaceful. If you have some blocks, go figure them out. No one's your savior. You must do the work yourself. And if you sit here demanding that we answer you or tell you what you... It's like, what? Come on, dude. So be nice. You know? Be nice. And respect the community. So, anyways, thank you for watching out, Leo. Appreciate that. I'm making all these videos, guys, and not every day, but I'm usually posting something. And so thank you for following this information, and it's only going to get better, because especially when we get to the history, it's called forbidden history. All of these periods of time that they've come in and made changes, that you don't see this history. You're not you wouldn't know it if the Guardians didn't bring it to us again. And that's what that's coming through this material. It's freaking awesome to know this stuff, to understand it. It's liberating. Like, there were so many confusing things in this world. I couldn't see it in religions before. When I was born into Christianity, I didn't see it as bad. I didn't know it until later. Not just because of how people treated me. I'm talking about the information itself. Those people couldn't answer all my questions. And then they make you feel like you're doing something wrong. What are you questioning the Word of God? Well, dude, I can't question. I want to understand some things. You can't tell me an answer? Why? So, you become the black sheep of your family sometimes, maybe. What are you going to do? Live your life for someone else? Why? What are you doing? It doesn't matter if it's your mate, your parents, some person you know, a friend. You don't let people guide your life, control your life, what you experience. Be free. Goodbye. Meet positive vibe people. Some of you are positive and friendly and kind and loving, and that's what we want in our community. Like, we have all these dystopian ideas about the future, but why can't we have a great future? you know, at least you can spend the last days, if there's going to be some last days, and with amongst some peaceful, Christed beings like you who are following Law 1 and treating each other like it. You're not going to be perfect angels, but, you know, we're saying that you're living in these type of people who aren't trying to vampire you, who are actually probably going to be helping to evolve the community in their expertise. You know, you see movies like Equilibrium. This movie's about a future dystopia that's under control by dictatorship, by one elite ruler. And then this movie, Aeon Flux. Look at that future. It's controlled by something. There's always something controlling. Wants to control. Wants to be in power. Wants to suck you dry. Drain you, literally. Do black magic and secret rituals under stadiums and shit. Throw voodoo dolls in your yard and cast spells, and you don't even know that side of the world, do you? You're not aware of the techniques. Sometimes you get sick, there's no explanation. Sometimes you feel like you saw a spirit or you felt something. What's going on? I have some of you messaging me. You guys, I have 4 platforms. I work full time on this stuff. I can't answer everyone. That's why I created Patreon, where I will answer you. So I'm just saying that because sometimes I have to tell people, hey, there's at least be part of the community, because then there I can give you a full half-hour conversation, man. No problem, vato loco. Eventually, I will even have to hire people. It'll be an organization eventually, and because when you're indigo, you think about stuff like having a spiritual retreat, having a pyramid, having people learn Ascension in person. We'll have other people learning and they become teachers, and then you have lots of people learning Ascension, and we have to do it with, you know, it's like you have like your own basically beliefs, because not everyone's going to believe in you. So sometimes you have problems with the outside world when you create some society that wants to be self-sufficient. That's another thing. It'll be all self-sufficient. The retreat will have like energy creation. We're going to create what we need, the power that we need, the resources, and have. If we don't learn how to become Breatharians, then we're going to at least learn how to live like a kind of like a Christed diet, which would be understanding what race you are really, because there's 12 tribes here, man. There's different bloodlines here. You're part of one that has a specific diet. You're a blue flame, has a different diet than a gold flame, that has a different diet than a violet flame. Or you're a violet flame and blue flame like me. I'm both of those. But I've also seen this energy. One of my spirit guides was a Thunderbird, which I believe is gold flame. But I've also seen the Phoenix. I've seen the Phoenix. I've seen the Thunderbird. I've seen hippogriffs. A lot of avians. So I know I must have some connection to even owls when I was in my beginning stages. Some of you have these beings, and it's important for you. Like one of my spirit guides, which first I got stung by a scorpion, but later I found out it was one of my guides, or one of the beings that were coming into my energies. So you find out some of these beings coming into your energies, you're following them, you're worshiping them, or whatever. You find out maybe later that they're not good. So while you let go of a negative spouse or boyfriend, girlfriend, well, you could also let go of a negative religion. You can change your beliefs. You're not going to the lake of fire You're not. I gotta close this down. I keep forgetting the time. I love you guys. Peace. See you tomorrow, or not tomorrow. Maybe not. Maybe the next day. Because tomorrow is family day. I won't be able to do a live. We have dinner at my sister's house, so maybe Tuesday. Okay, we'll try to shoot for Tuesday if my health is good. Otherwise, it might be another day or two. But I'm still breaking out videos. Peace. See you guys. Namaste, Pato Locos. Achoo.